I've also heard for people that have kind of grown up in chaos in whatever way that looked, whether it was abuse or instability, whether you're moving a lot, switching schools, there's big divorce, like those kinds of things. If that happens a lot throughout your upbringing, then when you're in a romantic relationship, that peace can feel like boredom. So sometimes you are in a beautiful relationship, but you're not getting that rush because everything is where it's supposed to be. Like this is homeostasis, but you can't appreciate it because almost like I don't know if you're into Joe Dispenza or anything like that, but you kind of get addicted to your neurochemistry. So if
Mm.
you have all of that chaos happening or you're constantly in this fight or flight, then those pathways get so deep that that's just a habit. Like you get into an emotional habit, and it's the same for your partner because it's like attracts like, and then round and round we go.
Yeah, it's scary. It's really scary. You get we get addicted to these cycles that cause us so much pain. And you're right. If you've been used to living in chaos, if you've been operating in high stress for a long time, you don't know how to operate out of high stress. It doesn't. That feels like an alien environment to you. And you know, I really believe in. I think sometimes we have to look at people who we look up to or people whose lives we feel like, they've figured something out. There's something in the way this person lives or operates or their energy that is is like something I want to be. And try to correlate what you see between those different people who are like that. Try and ask yourself, like, what do these people have in common?
Mhm.
And you do find commonalities. That I think is the reassuring thing, is you do find that people who have achieved a level of peace in their life, they have things in common, even if they're completely different people,
Mhm.
between their routines, how they live, what they value. There is it's like, why is it that you see so many people who do achieve a kind of peace in their lives, that over time they seem to change their relationship with alcohol or eating or recreational drugs? It's like there's a there seems to be an evolution that happens there that's a very common one for people. And I don't say that with any righteousness or judgment. People are at all different stages of life in what they're doing, but you have to acknowledge that there is a pattern between people. And I like to look for those patterns. I was sat in a room a couple of weeks ago with some amazing people at a mastermind, and there were all sorts of different people who had achieved an awful lot, not just in terms of their external success, but in terms of who they were as people and their families. And when I'm in a room like that, I observe everything because I just want to know, like, what do these people have in common? Like, do they have kids? Don't they have kids? Do they, how much time do they generally spend exercising? What's their outlook on some of these more hedonistic things? I want to know those things. What's their relationship with uh spikes? Because in a way, what you're talking about is the spikes, right? When someone is like looking for that constant jolt of excitement in a
Mhm.
relationship, they're looking for the spikes, they're living for the spikes.
Mhm.
And that's true in every area of life, by the way. I mean, I my vice that I struggle with to this day, that I've had to really try to work with, is food. I look for those spikes when it comes to food, and I've had to really try to work on not just my relationship with food, but my relationship with the spikes,
Mhm.
because I know that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that thing that's going to excite me, that's going to take me somewhere. And it's not, I still want to maintain my love for food, but I want to break my addiction to the spikes when it comes to food. And in you don't have to lose your desire to find a passionate relationship to realize that those spikes that maybe you grew up with, that also were followed by these corresponding lows, by
Mhm.
these horrible, I'm in a passionate relationship where we fight and then we have the best sex ever and then we fight again. And there's those lows that, and the dangerous thing, by the way, about those lows is they make the highs seem artificially high. So
Mm.
because this person makes your life a misery, because they make you anxious, because they make you never feel safe and never truly feel loved and secure, when they give you just a morsel of that, you you're like you like your body just soaks it up immediately, and it feels amazing. It feels kind of like this release because you felt so bad the hour before that, that by contrast, this feels amazing. And I sometimes think that a lot of our problems in life would change if we could learn that it's better to experience life at a 7 or an 8 out of 10 and keep working on notching that up in sustainable ways than living for like a 12 moment that then drops to a 3 and then jumps up again. And I think you can apply that to all of life, not just dating.